Oh, what's up, everybody? And I just got done watching Backlash, and man, I got a lot to say, especially when it comes to this main event, which I thought was hilarious, but we'll get to that in a few minutes because I got a lot to say about that. But let's talk about this show, Backlash, St. Louis, Missouri. And honestly, this show came by very fast because what WrestleMania was about 3 weeks ago, which honestly I believe all these pay-per-views has come by really fast upon each other. Hell, you got Saturday night's main event in like another 2 to 3 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Then again, I always said this before. WrestleMania really should have been at the beginning of April instead of so late in the game in April, and now we're already at Backlash already. So it's not like the bill was really good going into this show in general, but let's talk about this show because I will say one thing about St. Louis that the crowd was basically hot throughout the entire night, which helped this show. But obviously, since they can't count past five when it comes to these matches, let's kick it off right here, right now, then, with the U.S. title on the line. Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre versus Damian Priest versus L.A. Knight. A very good opener, I will say that. Did I need to see a fatal four-way from this? Not really, especially adding, McIntyre and Priest involved since you already know they were gonna go against each other anyways. I had no doubt in my mind Jacob Fatu was still gonna retain the championship. Like I knew that was gonna happen. It was a good match. Obviously some cool spots here and there. I did like the whole what was like a swanton and they're right hitting each other's finisher in. I know it was like a swanton Jacob did on like LA Knight, and then Priest hitting like the South of Heaven, and then McIntyre hitting the the Claymore kick and stuff. But basically, in this match, McIntyre he was able to what he pinned. Well, who did he pin? Not able to what, but I know he ended up taking out Fatu and like trying to throw him across the announce table and all that stuff. I think it was what was it? Yeah, McIntyre he ended up trying to pin. Yeah, he pinned Fatu. I know that, or he was either Priest or something. Not even Priest. I should say Jacob and stuff. But basically, the referee got pulled from under because yeah, after he hit that Claymore kick on the LA Knight, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, Priest ended up pulling the referee from under. Taking him out of the ring. Drew was surprised. Drew and Priest basically fought into the crowd. Way off that it was literally only Fatu and LA Knight left. Jacob Fatu started hitting multiple moonsaults, but and whatnot. But LA Knight got out of it. He had like a big jumping elbow, and then he did his double jump elbow again off the top rope on the Fatu. But then, they even showed Drew and Priest end up fighting basically near the production area out there, and they basically were on top of some platform, and Priest ended up hitting McIntyre with the South Heaven choke slam, crashing through some tables until the medics came out and went to help him then. But as that continued, basically LA Knight put Jacob Fatu onto the announce table then, and he was going to do his elbow drop from there. But Solo pulled him off then. LA Knight went to go fight Solo then, but then someone ended up punching him, and it was Jeff Cobb himself, fresh from New Japan Pro Wrestling. Jeff Cobb, who was basically in all black and everything. As I don't even know they even mentioned Cobb's name, if I'm not mistaken, on commentary, but and whatnot. But basically, Jeff Cobb had attacked. Solo was just shaking his head, and nodding, in approval and stuff. But Jacob Fatu was just very surprised and looked on. Which I think the funny thing about this now is like we're just adding any random Islander to whatever bloodline this is anymore. Because listen, Jeff Cobb is not even Samoan. The man is Hawaiian. Okay, so it's just kind of funny. Like, why do we have a Hawaiian in the Samoan group? Jeff Cobb, I figured he was going to be in WWE anyway since he just left New Japan like literally a few weeks ago now, which I still find it kind of crazy because it was literally like barely last month now that I knew there were rumors about Jeff Cobb leaving New Japan and going to WWE. I know like New Japan tried to shut it down. Even Jeff Cobb himself kind of trolling the internet saying, "Oh, look what happened, internet. You all thought I was going to leave. I'm not going anywhere and stuff." And then next thing you know, him and Kyle Newman, what am I saying? Did I say Kyle Newman or Colin Newman? Wow, I can't believe I don't even remember this guy's name right now for some reason. Yeah, I'm sorry, Callum Newman. I almost forgot his name, but it's just kind of crazy that New Japan literally just put the tag titles on him. Literally, they won the tag titles, Jeff Cobb and Callum Newman, and then like a few days later, Jeff Cobb leaves New Japan, and it's kind of like, what the fuck? Like, you gotta look at New Japan crazy too, because it's like, and I've seen like between them and TNA, they've done this a lot. It's like they put the tag titles or any type of title on somebody thinking they're not gonna leave, and then they end up actually leaving in while being the champion, which kind of makes that company look stupid depending on who it is. But it's like, why would you put the title on a guy that literally just end up leaving like a day or two later? Then that's kind of crazy. I knew there were rumors online, so I was like, oh, okay, Jeff Cobb and Cal Newman are the tag team champions now, so he ain't going nowhere. Then like a few days later or something, oh, he's gone. He's going. Well, now he's in WWE, but it's like, oh, he's leaving New Japan Pro Wrestling. It's like, I don't know. That's just kind of strange to me when you really think about it. It's like, why did New Japan even put the tag titles on him? I don't know. That's kind of crazy. I know I saw his last match over there against Tana and everything. So it is what it is, and basically just thinking United Empire and all that stuff. But I just thought it was just kind of funny. It's like they literally say, "Oh, he's not going nowhere," and then wins tag titles, and then, oh, okay, now he's on his way out the door. So I think it's kind of funny, but I think where the storyline is going to go with this now, obviously Solo is just now recruiting anybody because he said it before. We're out of soldiers right now. Obviously, both God are hurt. I didn't even know Tama Tonga was hurt. He just kind of disappeared, so I didn't even really notice or even knew he was even hurt. I know some people are gonna wonder, like, why didn't they bring anybody else that was Samoan or something, like Zilla Fatu or Hikuleo, which I guess he's still signed with the WWE, because I almost forgot about him now until somebody ended up bringing him up to me. So it's like, yeah, we got a guy that's not even Samoan is now in this like Samoan group. So I don't know what's gonna happen with Jeff Cobb. We'll see what happens, because I just think it was just kind of crazy how he just left New Japan, and then him and TJP start going at it on Twitter and stuff. If you look that whole crazy little Twitter war feud that was going, so go check that out if you can. But I think the most to really talk about this whole Fatal 4-Way was just Jeff Cobb making his WWE debut right here. So crazy stuff that happened. But moving on, the Women's Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Lyra Valkyria versus Becky Lynch. Obviously Becky just turned heel like a few weeks ago and stuff. Well, literally right after WrestleMania, really, like the night after WrestleMania. So obviously it's a feud going on with these two right now. Honestly, they fought before in NXT when Becky was the NXT Women's Champion and Lyra beat her for that title. Honestly, this was a good match. I enjoyed it. I kind of felt like Becky was going to win going into this, because I think nobody really cares about these mid-card women titles right now between both the U.S. and the Intercontinental. Like, I don't mind Bird Girl. I think she's good, but it's not like she's really gone against anybody to make you care about, or nobody's really even cared about the mid-card women titles themselves. But it's like, okay, Becky's here, so at least people will care now. And the crowd, I feel like they did eat this up, and we're trying to play into Becky's heel stuff. A lot of finishers, I will say, from Becky also, because she hit like at least about, 4 manhandle slams, if I'm not mistaken. And even though she ended up untying the turnbuckle and all that stuff, while the ref, because there was a chair in the ring at one point, but she was clearing the chair, and I don't know, it's just kind of funny how the ref just like, I gotta go do this, and then I'm just gonna do this other way to cheat and stuff. But Lyra came back and tried to finish her for like a near fall, but didn't work. Becky ended up like another manhandle slam and still for a near fall, and just slamming her head on the mat, and even trying to run to the exposed turnbuckle, but the ref got in the way and put it back. Lyra hit the Nightwing then, but the ref was so distracted with the turnbuckle, Becky still kicked out. Becky thumbed her in the eye then after that and tried to roll her up for a pin and stuff, but Lyra was able to just kind of reverse it and then get the pin on her, which Becky immediately kicked her. Some say she kicked her hard in the face, and I don't know if it was blood in her eye or blood somewhere, but she was holding on to her face for a while, but I think that was because of the thumb to the eye and stuff. I don't know if she got that kick all the way to her face, but it was basically just like a reverse roll-up pin right here, and Becky just started attacking Lyra and just put her into the disarmer and all this stuff. Agents came out and, wanted her to release the hold and everything, which she ended up walking away, and Lyra just she was able to get up and hold the title up and everything. So I don't know. They say she may have broken her nose. So obviously another match will happen between these two. So Becky was doing a lot of heel tactics, to draw heat from the crowd. So I think one thing, at least I say, like, given this crowd tonight, this did help the match. Because usually every week I've seen on Raw with the women's Intercontinental Champion, nobody cares. And I do feel like the only way to make this title relevant now is that Becky wins the title so people actually care about this title. Obviously not now, and it'll be another match, which I'm sure is going to happen very soon, whatever the next pay-per-view is. So I think that's going to happen. But, yeah, Lyra ended up retaining here. So she did beat Becky, but like I said, Becky ended up attacking her after. So there you go. Next, the Intercontinental Championship was on the line. Dominic Mysterio versus Pentagon Jr. I'm gonna be honest about this match. Listen, this wasn't a bad match, okay? It was good. But this could have been on Monday Night Raw. Because I felt like this did not even have a lot of build. Now, I know it's, Finn, he looks like he's going to turn on Dominic any day now. Because, listen, as the match even went on, and even Dominic using, Liv's finisher, I think, at one point. You got Carlito coming out, and then Finn, and then McDonough. And then McDonough ended up holding up Pentagon, and Balor just took his time. I guess, to go get a chair, and the ref ended up seeing both of them then. And, Pentagon ended up hitting like a dive on like the Carlito and McDonough then. And then Balor, he started arguing with the referee and stuff while Pentagon was on the top rope. And then El Grande Americano, which I will say at least the crowd kind of popped for, headbutted Pentagon in and, basically by distraction. And then Dominic just hit a frog splash on Pentagon and won. Listen, this whole thing could have been on Raw. I don't even know why this match is on pay-per-view. I really don't know why. It's like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but it's like this is something I would see on Raw. Everything and the entire finish. So it's not like there was a lot of build going into Pentagon and Dominic. Anyways, it looks like it was a good match. That's all I can really say about it. Like, nothing much to say. Like, it is what it is, but the whole finish could have been on Raw, and Finn just looked like he's gonna turn on Dominic any day now. So that's gonna happen. Right after that, Gunther went against Pat McAfee. I know they had Cole and Barrett on commentary the whole night, and even Cole himself says he's gonna be biased and root on Pat because he hasn't liked how Gunther basically just took both of them out. That he can't even have opinions on commentary anymore. I'm gonna be honest. I'm almost surprised this went as long as it did. Obviously, the crowd was into it, even chanting "You tapped out" at Gunther and everything. And you're going to see a lot of hope spots really into this whole match. Because, listen, nobody believed Pat was going to beat Gunther. And everybody says, oh, Gunther underestimated his opponents. Obviously, that's the story because he underestimated Sami Zayn. He underestimated Jey Uso and stuff. So he could not underestimate Pat McAfee. And he really wasn't right here. And he even toyed with Pat several times. And even tried to toy with Cole by taunting him and stuff. And, Pat still was getting a lot of hope spots. I know you could say it was a lot of botches here and there, but listen, it's not like Pat is in the ring like that all the time. We only see him in a handful of matches. But, Gunther was just trying to toy with him and chop him and stuff, but Pat was, he ended up fighting back, hitting chops on him and stuff. I know at one point, Pat did a moonsault, but Gunther got out the way and he hit a German suplex, but Pat landed on his feet, fell a little, but he still landed on it. I know Gunther ended up hitting like a power bomb then, and then Cole was just saying, yep, in the match, and he put him in like to the Boston Crab, but Cole even took his headset off and got the ringside, tried to cheer on Pat, and then Gunther ended up throwing him in the ring, and like he was going to power bomb him, but Pat fought him off then, and, tried to get him, but Gunther ended up just like suplexing him again, and put him in a damn sleeper hole, and he even stood up and tried to fight his way out of it, but Gunther ended up just putting him to sleep, which even, like, after he beat Pat, and listen, I thought Gunther was going to be more of a ruthless heel like he usually is, and he was going to be more ruthless now since losing the world title, but it's like Pat got up, like a couple minutes later with Cole, and Gunther gave his respect to Pat McAfee, basically. He acknowledged him. He just respected him and stuff, so I don't know, like I said, the crowd, they loved it. They ate it up. And I think the match even though I felt like it went kind of a little bit too long, I feel like Gunther probably could have took him out a little bit more in quick fashion. Like I said, Pat had his hope spots. Like I said, you ate the crowd up with it, and it went like, what, almost 14, 15 minutes, so it wasn't bad, and Gunther did dominate most of the match. I heard there were rumors that Goldberg was going to be in this, or Goldberg was going to come out. I thought Goldberg probably would have came out if Gunther just, like, wouldn't let go of the hold even after the match and just kept beating the hell out of Pat, because I had heard rumors about it. Do I really want to see Gunther versus Goldberg? Not really, but I'm sure the crowd would have popped if Goldberg came out and speared Gunther. So it wouldn't have bothered me that much even if it did happen. But given, like, I don't know, I don't think I needed to see Gunther really showing respect to Pat McAfee all of a sudden. It's like you already choked him out the night after WrestleMania and trying to kick the hell out of him and Michael Cole for talking all that mess on commentary. Now it's like, oh man, you stood up and fought me, so now I'm going to show you respect. So I just thought they were going to just make Gunther even more ruthless now. It's like he lost the world championship. He was already pissed at commentary. I thought this was a way to write Pat McAfee off of, commentary, because apparently he has to go back and do work for like ESPN or something like that. That's what I heard. But he got back up on his own and, Gunther gave him his respect and he hugged Michael Cole after. So nothing like Pat walked out on his own 2 feet. Will he be gone after on commentary after this? I have no idea. Maybe, maybe not. If that's the case, put Corey Graves back on Raw then, if that would be the case. But no. But like I said, it is what it is with this match. So it's not like and let me say this too. Honestly, why was this even on Backlash? This is something you throw on Saturday night's main event, not pay-per-view. Like, does Pat McAfee versus Gunther really scream a pay-per-view match to you? Like, does it really? Like, really think about that. Like, if you do it on Saturday night's main event, I'm like, okay, it's a special, there you go. But to put on pay-per-view, I just think that's kind of strange. Like, this isn't really a pay-per-view match. You just throw this on Saturday night's main event and go on from there. So that's what I think I would have done and stuff. But then we actually get to the main event. John Cena versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. A match that I've seen way too many times in the past, and it's happening again, folks. But the crowd was super hot for this. And like I said before, the crowd's been hot all night. Literally for damn near everything. Obviously, Randy Orton being the hometown hero right here, again, a super pop. And the crowd is super hot for him and singing his theme song and all that stuff. John Cena comes out with whatever multicolored shirt he has right now. Fans chant, let's go Cena, Cena sucks, or singing John Cena sucks and all that. And we begin, and listen, the crowd was hot for this main event, super hot. And I think this was better than what I saw at WrestleMania with Cody. I don't think it was like a finisher fest out there. And even Cena still doing heel tactics and everything, trying to poke Cody in the eye and stuff. And, especially after the whole handshake and everything. And, Orton doing his moves on him, trying to take him out. Obviously, the crowd was with Orton basically throughout the whole match. I know he kept trying to put in sleepers at one point. Cena tried to go for the 5-knuckle shuffle, and whatnot. But Orton ended up coming back with some clotheslines then, even hitting a power slam on Cena. Doing his whole DDT thing, but Cena got the STFU on him. Orton, kicked out, still did the whole DDT thing. Set up for the RKO, but Cena got out of it then. Tried to go for the FU and stuff, but basically, what was another crowd started chanting, "This is awesome," then, but he dodged it. And they do the whole "yay boo" thing. Fans chanting, "Let's go Cena, Cena sucks." You can't wrestle. Yes, he can, which I thought was pretty funny. Cena ended up going for like another FU then, but Orton, he got out of it, which Cena ended up trying to do his whole because at one point, and I'm trying to remember most of this throughout the match. I know Cena hit the FU, and then Orton basically had the RKO midway through it. But then Cena tried to do his whole shoulder, 5 moves of doom thing. But then, like, the minute he did one shoulder block, he got RKO then. And Cena just rolled out of the ring almost to get away. Orton ended up coming back trying to go, for the punt kick. But once again, Cena dodged it. He hit him with a FU, still a kick out. Cena tried to do his own light punt kick, but Orton got out of it. goes for the RKO, but Cena pushed him in the referee, and then this is where all the overbooking shenanigans begin, folks, and this is where you're either going to love this or you hated this, because Cena ended up hitting like another FU then, and then he smiled in the camera, and, basically he went for the title then. It was going to hit Orton with it. Orton ended up dropping Cena with another RKO, but still it was a 2 count then, and Cena rolled to the floor. And then Orton just going after Cena, like clearing the announce table and stuff, getting ready to put Orton down. But Cena pushed him in the ref again, and the ref goes down twice. And he ran Orton to the ring post, and he was going to try to hit him with an FU through the table, but Orton hit his own FU on the Cena through the table, which halfway broke anyway, so it's not like it went down all the way. And so Cena's down, the referee's down, Orton gets another table then, FUs him through another table, throws him back into the ring then, and stuff. Sets up for the RKO again, hits him with another RKO. At this point, I'm like, how many RKOs are you going to keep hitting with Cena? And then they sent another referee out, and then it was another 2 count then. Orton's arguing with the next referee, and then Cena ends up hitting him with the title belt. So we got the ref down 3 times. Okay, it's 2 different referees, but we've seen one ref take 2 bumps, third ref take another bump. Orton just hits another RKO on him, and I'm like, man, how many RKOs are we going to keep hitting? And I'm thinking, is another referee going to come out? So Nick Aldis and several agents and producers walk out there. Orton's pissed off with them. Orton RKOs everybody from Nick Aldis to Jason Jordan to Jamie Noble or whoever else was in the ring. It's like 5-6 RKOs in a row. And then he goes up for another pump kick then. But then R-Truth then comes out, because we've been seeing segments with R-Truth saying, my hero John Cena, folks. I guess we all know where that's going to lead to. And, Truth blocked Orton, and Orton was pissed at him, and then Orton RKO Truth then, and then Cena ended up low blowing him, which I felt like he missed the nut shot, and he hit him with the title again, and then pinned him, and it was over. So, like I said, you're either going to love this or you're going to hate this. Don't get me wrong, I thought it did get really ridiculous in this main event, just given how just all this random stuff kept happening. I was like, man, how many RKOs you gonna hit till he actually wins? Especially, I swear he had like 5 RKOs on Cena and it still wasn't over. So it's like, it's ridiculous, but I think this was better than WrestleMania. It's better than sending Travis Scott out there, because WrestleMania was way worse than what we saw here tonight. So you're either gonna like it or you're not gonna like it, but the crowd loved it, okay? The crowd was very hot for this. They went nuts for everything that was going on with this damn near finisher fest ref month thing going on. Because, listen, it's Orton. And even if you, and I'll say this too, and I've already had this asked to me. Some say, oh, we don't want to see a regular match with Cena and Orton because we've seen it so many times in the past, people aren't going to care. But I think given the crowd was so hot through the entire night and hot for Orton, given it's St. Louis in his hometown, I think the fans would have been okay if it was a regular match too. They still would have been hot for it. Like they were hot for all this. So I think it would have worked. Either way. I think it really would have. And then, Cena ended up getting the microphone. He says, I know you can't see me, but can you hear me? He said, he basically went on to say, what I need is competition, and I sure as hell don't need you. So drink it in, St. Louis, because this is what the last real champion looks like. And then they put up the South Park credits, and the show went off the air. So, like I said about the main event, you're either going to like this or you're going to hate this, okay? Yes, it was definitely overbooking, but the crowd loved all this ridiculousness because it's better than what we saw at WrestleMania with the Travis Scott stuff, because that was anticlimactic as hell. This was at least entertaining. I did start laughing because I just thought how ridiculous and hilarious this was, because I'm like, RKO here, RKO there, RKO here, RKO there. Just keep hitting Cena. I'm like, damn, maybe Super Cena was back tonight because he was kicking out of all these finishes, I'll say that. Maybe it was. But, I don't, and listen, here's the thing. I knew Randy Orton was never going to win anyways. You're not going to win in your hometown. And given what we've seen out of this feud in the past few weeks, some think it's kind of rushing. They should have waited till SummerSlam to do this. But given it was Orton's hometown, I guess they wanted to rush this right now. But it's like most of this entire feud has been Orton RKOing him almost every week on SmackDown. We saw it on Raw. We saw it on the following SmackDown. We saw literally about last night. We saw it 24 hours ago. Orton RKO'd him. So Cena had the win here. I do believe his next opponent now is going to be R-Truth to what I'm seeing. So I guess that's long-term storytelling if you want to say that, because Truth has been, that's Truth's childhood hero right there, John Cena. So that's what I really feel like his next opponent is going to be. So hey, long-term storytelling, folks. So like I said about the main event, you're either going to like it or you're going to hate it. I thought it was entertaining, but it was ridiculous at the same time that I just started laughing. But once again, the crowd ate that shit up. They ate it up. Then again, they ate it up throughout the whole night. Honestly, I felt like if it wasn't for this crowd, I think the show was okay. It was good. I think the main event is what really sold the show. Honestly, because once again, it is the main event. It's Cena and Orton, so people are gonna be hot for that. We got to see Jeff Cobb make his WWE debut tonight, so we're gonna see where that goes. I did enjoy the Fatal 4-Way, so but come on, we already knew Jacob was gonna win. Lyra and Becky was good, so that's obviously gonna continue. Um, Honestly, Dominic and Pentagon could have been on Raw than actually on this show. So like it is what it is, but still, they really could have just put this match on Raw. Like this really felt like a Monday Night Raw match to me. And Gunther versus Pat, I really didn't want to see this match on the pay-per-view to begin with, but hey, crowd ate it up. Okay, it told a story. Gunther being no nonsense, being dominant. I feel like it could have ended a bit sooner, but hey, Pat had his hope spots out there, and Gunther still went over. I could have done without the whole Gunther showing Pat respect and just try to make Gunther a ruthless heel, or he's not playing around anymore, and he's going to be even more pissed off now since he's lost the world title. But hey, he showed Pat respect there. So yeah, honestly, just going into this show, I just felt like Backlash was Backlash. It is what it is. I feel like they should have waited a little bit longer for this show to happen. I think it came by too fast. I don't think it was a lot of build to it. And then just looking at the card, only done it in the main event. That's basically the biggest thing people was looking forward to was the main event. Every other match, I'm sure a lot of people are going to feel like this could have been on Raw or SmackDown matches. I felt like Dominic and Pentagon was really like a Monday Night Raw match given how everything went, including the finish. So that's what I kind of saw from it. But like I said, it was just like I don't think it was a middle of the road show, but it's like it was what it was, and it was good for what it was. So it was entertaining, obviously, throughout most of the night, and the crowd was very hot through St. Louis. So what happens next? I don't know. Okay, so it's not really much to talk about in all of this, other than especially the main event, and I'd say Jeff Cobb making his debut, like I just said a minute or two ago. So it is what it is for Backlash tonight. But other than that, tell me what you think about Backlash. Did you like it? Did you hate it? Did you enjoy this show? Or what was your favorite match or your least favorite thing throughout tonight? Just hey, leave it in the comment section, okay? But other than that, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodedKnight890. I'm out of here. I'll see y'all then. Peace out.